The world's largest fraternal organization is holding its annual convention this week in Canada. The Knights of Columbus is meeting in Quebec for its 142nd Supreme Convention. This year's theme is on mission. The agenda includes an awards ceremony, breakout sessions, and the annual report from Supreme Knight Patrick Kelly. And for analysis, we turn now to Dr. Matthew Bunson, Vice President and Editorial Director for EWTN News, and he is in Quebec for EWTN's coverage. Matthew, great to have you back as always. As mentioned, this is an annual conference this year. The Knights are meeting in Quebec. What's the significance of that?
Yeah, well, the Knights in some ways are coming back to Quebec. The founder of the Knights of Columbus, Blessed Father Michael McGivney, studied for the priesthood here in Quebec. The presence of the Knights in Canada dates all the way back, I think, to 1897. There are about 200,000 members. So this is a statement in some ways on the part of the Knights of Columbus of the importance of Canada, but also going back also to the roots of Catholicism in many ways in North America. Quebec City is one of those venerable places of Catholicism. So the Knights are making a point by being here, but then also they're stressing the international dimensions of the order. And certainly with the number of prelates, I think from about 8 different countries, there is very much an international flavor to the Knights of Columbus today. And that's something that they can really highlight by being here in Canada.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit more about that. The focus on international growth is connected to the work of the Knights globally. What are they discussing about the crises that we are seeing in the world today?
Yeah, well, Patrick Kelly, the Supreme Knight of the Knights of Columbus, has spoken quite a bit, especially in recent years, about the importance of the Knights in caring for people all over the world, being faithful to Blessed Michael McGivney's vision for the founding of the Knights of Columbus. When we look at what the Knights are doing right now, all eyes turn once again to Ukraine, where the Knights have been at work there really since the Russian invasion so many years ago now. The Knights are investing millions of dollars to help Ukrainian relief, to deal with refugees, to provide care packages. But the Knights are also very active elsewhere in the world. I think, for example, of their work in the Philippines to support anti-trafficking, as well as the presence of the Knights in places like the Philippines and Cuba. So we can't underestimate, again, the importance of the international dimension of the Knights of Columbus. But again, remaining very faithful to the original vision of Michael McGivney for the formation of men, caring for widows and orphans, promoting families, and especially defending the dignity of the human person in the face of so many challenges that we have today in the modern world.
Yeah, Matthew, as we know, the Knights' focus is also on evangelization and faith formation. What are you hearing about their initiatives in that regard?
Yeah, quite a few. We have, for example, their ongoing program of Into the Breach that we'll be hearing a lot more of in the next couple of days, as well as the newer program called CORE. What this is intended to do is to help form Catholic men and bringing them closer to Christ, to helping evangelize the culture, but also to evangelize the families. As they say, that where there is a need, there is a knight. But this is not an NGO. This is an apostolate that is devoted to the care of the human person in all of its dimensions. And the more formed the Knights are, the better they will be able to care, and the more present they will be to their families and to the wider world.
And Matthew, quickly before I let you go, I'd love to get your thoughts on the retirement of Cardinal O'Malley from Boston.
Yeah, this is a fairly significant moment in the modern life of the Catholic Church, especially in the United States. Cardinal O'Malley, for 2 decades, was a stalwart figure in the Church's work against the sexual abuse crisis. He was sent to Boston under terrible circumstances in 2003 to deal with that crisis, especially in the wake of the clergy sexual abuse crisis revelations that came about in the early 2000s. He had already been dealing with the sexual abuse crisis in his previous postings. He went on, of course, to become president of the Pontifical Commission for the Protection of Minors, and a real powerful voice for dealing with clergy sexual abuse. We saw that just weeks ago when he published a public letter asking that the artwork of Marco Rupnik, the now very controversial mosaicist, be removed. So he has not gone quietly, as they say. He continues to push for the promotion of safeguards in the Church. And I think he'll be remembered as one of those key prelates at a very difficult time for the Church in the United States and around the world.
And Dr. Matthew Bunson, thank you. Always great to be with you. God bless.
Good to be with you. Take care.